Advaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhavitanscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. So I would like to ask how many of you were able to learn the Mangalacharan prayers? We had sent a link on the Google Drive to, yeah, I see Darshan, Bhavesh, Nidishri, and yeah, quite a number of them learned it. Arman.
Om.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes,
very
please
good.
learn at least one paragraph a week because we will be continuing even in our Bhakti Vriksha. By this way, you will be able to pray to Krishna through the gurus. If you have to approach Krishna directly, it is very difficult. But when you're approaching through gurus, they are more merciful. They'll give us the knowledge. We always have to approach Krishna through the gurus. Thank you very much. Now, also just to reiterate, like every day, all our teachings are based on His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and he's the founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Can you show slide 2?
Yeah.
Okay, probably when I was chanting, I had not scrolled to the slide 2. Sorry about that. Yes. Just scroll a bit smaller.
Yeah,
is it visible now? Can you just check if this is big enough on the screen?
Yeah, it's big enough on the screen. Yeah.
Okay, great.
No, this is not a full page. No, that's fine. This is big enough on the screen.
Okay.
Again, if you have noticed, we have utilized one of your paintings, the paintings of Srila Prabhupada, we have utilized for our slides, and this was sent by Gaurangi. Thank you so much, Gaurangi. We have utilized this painting in our slide. Yes.
Yes, thank you. It was very nice and it was very detailed.
Okay.
Yes, so we just summarized. Did you all summarize?
Which one? No, these are the 3 sections. No, we almost summarized this one.
Yes, yeah. So we'll just summarize the Bhakti Yoga because we'll be starting with Jnana Yoga. Also, as you all know, this is Jnana Yoga is supposed to be one of the difficult part. And if at all you're feeling that it's a bit difficult to understand, don't worry about it. In your first listening or first hearing, you will not be able to find so much of a you will not be able to think, you won't understand in your first attempt. Rather, you'll have to visit the video a couple of times for all of us to understand the Jnana Yoga, as the name itself says that it's the knowledge of the absolute. So it's going to be very difficult, but however, we'll try to make it as simple as possible, and I think that should make it easier. So what did we study so far? We saw that in the first 6 chapters we had Karma Yoga, and which again culminates to Bhakti Yoga, and we learned how confidential information is hidden in the second 6 chapters, and the third 6 chapter which we are starting today, which is Jnana Yoga, which is about the knowledge and perfection of Jnana, which also culminates to Bhakti Yoga. Now, what did we study in the first 6 chapters? Confidential knowledge, that is body, and the distinction between the body and the soul. So we learned that we are not this body, rather we are soul. And what kind of actions I should be performing. And also, what is action and what is inaction. We learned what is action and what is renunciation rather. So it's also called as inaction. And also what are different ladders and how to please the Lord and what is the best way to please the Lord. And in the next 6 chapters, we saw more confidential knowledge, that is, knowledge of the devotional service, and also most confidential knowledge and pure devotional service to Krishna is the supreme. And it also culminates, of course, it's Bhakti Yoga. Now, in the last 6 chapters, also, we will be seeing that it's going to culminate into Bhakti Yoga, although we will be learning there are so many objects, or rather, um, sub objects of knowledge that we will be learning and how to perfect the jnana and transcend to the Krishna consciousness. What are we going to learn today? We're going to learn about the nature, enjoyer, and consciousness. And it's also called kshetra. In Sanskrit, nature is called as kshetra, and enjoyer, no. In Sanskrit, nature is called as prakriti, and enjoyer is the purusha, and the consciousness is the what our own jnana that we get. So what are we start the chapter.
Bhavish, sorry
Yeah,
about
someone
that.
was actually.
I think Bhavish has some question or something. Yes, Bhavish, I see you raising your hand.
I'm Darshan, and I just wanted to say that I could have said this earlier, but I learned the pranamas, the Sri Guru Pranama and the Sri Guru.
Excellent, Darshan.
Yes,
Haribol.
Haribol. We will be starting our Bhakti Vriksha soon. So when we start, we will let you
You
all chant
chant
on a
every
daily
day.
basis right now, because we are in the 18-day very short essence course. We will not be able to give a chance for everybody to recite, but however, in our Bhakti Vriksha, this is our main service that we all have to start learning the mantras and all the shlokas we will be learning in detail. So what are the wise, the chapter begins with the wise questions by Arjuna, and then what are the items of knowledge, that is, what is knowledge? See, we are in jnana, so we need to know what exactly is jnana. Jnana is not that we study about math, science, English. This is kind of a different knowledge, but what is the supreme knowledge? What is the items of those supreme knowledge? And also what is soul and what is super soul? And enjoyer, who is the enjoyer? And also jnana chakshu. So how do I get the jnana chakshu? Jnana chakshu means how do I get the vision of the supreme? How do I see the Krishna? How do I see Krishna everywhere? This is what we will be. And how do I receive that benediction from Krishna? How do I do that? That will be explained over here. So our first sloka starts with Arjuna once again starts with his questions. What does he ask? Can one of you chant, please? Kavin.
Okay. Arjuna uvacha prakritim purusham chaiva kshetram kshetrajñamev cha etad veditumicchami jnanam jneyam ch Keshava. Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, can you also read the translation?
Okay. Arjuna said, "Oh my dear Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti, nature, Purusha, the enjoyer and the field and the knower of the field and of knowledge and the object of knowledge."
Did you see that? One shloka and Arjuna had so many things to know about, and they are very, very intricate things that he wanted to know. So let us see what is it that he is willing to understand over here. So it has the nature, that is a prakriti. We'll be learning even the Sanskrit terms. You don't have to by heart or memorize them, but it's just for you to hear so that you know next time when we are talking about this, we should be able to relate it.
And anyways, if you know the Hindi as a language or Telugu
Yes.
or any other Tamil also, they are almost called the same. Prakriti. Prakriti is the same in any language, right?
Yes.
But English is a funny language. It's okay. We will learn them very soon.
Yes. So Prakriti is the nature, and then the Purusha is the enjoyer and the field of activity. So who, sorry. So Arjuna had 6 questions in the first shloka. What is Prakriti? And what is Purusha? What is Kshetra? What is the Kshetragna? Who is the Kshetragna? And sorry, this is supposed to be who? Who is the Kshetragna? And what is Jnanam? What is Gneyam? So, for our sake, Arjuna is asking all these wise questions. What is Prakriti? Who is Purusha? Who is the Kshetra? What is the Kshetragna? What is Jnanam? What is Gneyam? Because now we're learning about Jnanam. So remember, we saw the crest jewel hidden inside the box. I just didn't reiterate this. So Bhakti was hidden inside in the middle, which is the 6th to 12th chapter. And in the first 6 chapters, we had Karma Yoga, and now we're having Jnana Yoga. So Jnana means you all have to be very smart, and you all have to put a thinking hat, how I can grab this knowledge. So here, can you guess what exactly is Prakriti? Can any one of you guess what is Prakriti?
Yes, Nidhi. What is Prakriti?
Prakriti is the earth.
Prakriti is the earth. Okay, let's
Okay.
hear from someone else. Yes, Om.
Prakriti means
The
the air, water, nature, which is on the earth, fire, and human beings, animals, which are situated on the earth.
and the things which are provided by already by the God or nature.
Perfect. So it's actually the things that are provided by Krishna, which is all around us, earth, water, air, fire. So it's all the mother nature.
Okay.
What is Purusha?
Let's ask Lasya.
Answering the Prakriti.
Sorry?
I was going to answer the Prakriti.
That's okay. You can now answer the
Okay.
Purusha.
Okay.
Well,
Just give a guess. If you don't know the answer, also it's okay.
is it the human being?
Yes, the Purusha is the Jiva. We are the Purushas. Then who's the Param Purusha? Who's the greatest human being? Let's ask.
If
Yes.
we are Purusha, who's the Param Purusha?
Let's ask Ayush.
The Param Purusha is Krishna, and for the next question, Kshetra.
No. We'll ask. Do you want to answer?
Thank you, Ayush.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Ayush. Okay,
you can
you
take
can
one
answer.
more question. What
Yes.
is Kshetra?
Yes, Ayush, you were answering. Go ahead.
So, Kshetra is a place.
Kshetra is a place. Yes, just like in Hindi, we call it Kshetra is a place. Okay. And Arman, what is a place which Arjuna wants to know? What kind of
The
place?
body.
He's asking about the body.
Perfect. Perfect. So it's Kshetra Gna. Gna means it's knowledge. So knower of this body is the Kshetra Gna.
Again, remember, these are very easy to understand, but if you don't focus, it'll be very tough. So Arman said, Kshetra means the body. Why it's the body? Can anyone answer?
Also, this is Jnana Yoga. Let us all be smart and be alert to understand, because we have only kept all those things that are easy to understand, but still you need to focus in these classes.
Yes, Darshan, do you want to answer this? Why is a body called a Kshetra?
Maybe it's the place where the soul rests itself, soul.
Very good. The Lord has given us a material body, and with this material body, we are enjoying everything, and we are enjoying with the material nature. We are utilizing our senses. That's the reason this body is called as the Kshetra. Is this clear, everyone? Okay.
And
Very
the knower, and the next one is Kshetragna. Who can answer?
Kshetragya. Who is going to answer? Yes, Ayush.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. Okay, we'll ask somebody else. That's okay. Om is raising a hand.
Kshetragna means the place where we get knowledge about the God.
Kshetragya means the place where we get the knowledge from about the God. So where do you think is the place from knowledge?
For example, Gurukul.
Gurukul, only the place where you get the knowledge from. Okay, good answer. Maybe we'll try to take. Yes, Shari.
Kshetra means body, so it's like knowing knowledge of the body.
Yeah, but what is Kshetragya? That we already discussed. We already discussed. The next question Mataji asked. What is Kshetragya?
Okay, Kshetragya means maybe the
Okay, we'll see that in the next slide. What is Jnanam? The next
Jnanam. Jnana means knowledge.
Yes, perfect. Everyone knows that. This is very simple. Jnana means knowledge. Now, what is Gneyam? We will see that also in the next slide. Let's all listen to Mataji. Okay.
Yes, thank you. All right, so thanks all. I thought it's going to be very difficult for me to explain, but it's not at all. So what is Prakriti? You all answered that it's Mother Nature, which is correct. And what is Purusha? So Purusha is the Jiva, who is the enjoyer of this Prakriti. And what is Kshetra? Kshetra is the body itself. So here, Krishna has compared the body to a field, like an empty field that we have where we plow and we grow grains, right? So let's say we have an empty field where we grow rice or paddy or anything like that. So that's called as a Kshetra. So Krishna has compared this body to a place where there is a field. And what is the Kshetrajna? Kshetrajna is the knower of the body, the super soul, and the living entity. So now the knower of the body, the super soul, and the living entity. So whoever is Kshetrajna means the person who knows this body, who knows the super soul, and the Jiva. So we now got to know that there is a Purusha, and here we have the super soul who is Supreme Purusha. Right? So, and the one who knows I am this body, and also I have a super soul inside me, that is Param Purusha, and also I have a Purusha, I am the enjoyer, that is the soul. So these are three things about Kshetrajna. So the knower of the knower of the person who knows about his body, his super soul, and also his soul itself is Kshetrajna. It's simple, right?
Okay.
All of you, can you thumbs up if it is if you have any questions, please raise your hand at this point of time, because it's mandatory that we need to understand this.
Okay, so I'm lowering the hands right now. Okay, and if you have a question, then please raise your hand. Do you have a question about this particular word called Kshetrajna?
Kshetrajna is clear, right? Yes?
Okay, everyone
Wonderful.
is clear. Wonderful.
All right, so what is Gnanam? Gnanam means understanding about this Kshetra and Kshetrajna.
The knowledge.
The knowledge. Jnana means, Jnana is nothing but knowledge. What is Jnana? Knowing about Kshetra and Kshetrajna. And what is Gneyam? Goal of knowledge. That is Paramatma. What is my goal? My goal is Paramatma. That is Gneyam. So remember these things. Next.
Okay.
Yes,
let me
let's ask again.
Yeah,
let's
I'll ask once again. Let me ask this
now
particular
tell us,
question to Ritu. Yes, Ritu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
what is
Kshetrajna?
It's the knower of the body.
Okay. Who's the knower of your body? You have your body, right? You are a soul, but you have a material body. How do you identify yourself? You identify yourself with a soul, and you have a material body. Who is the knower of your body? Who knows about your body?
My soul.
Yes, it's you. You know about your own body. Very good. Your soul, and you know about your own body. So who's the Kshetrajna of your body?
The soul.
You yourself, isn't it? The soul. Yes, your soul or your body. So who's the Kshetrajna of my body?
You and your soul.
Yes, I'm the Kshetrajna of my body.
Yes. So
is that clear, everyone? Is that clear, everyone? It's very easy.
Yes, it's easy. It's just that I know that I have a body, and I'm not this body, and I also have a jiva inside me, and I also have a Paramatma inside me. These are the three things. If somebody is asking what is kshetragnya, kshetragnya is that person who knows who is the body, and he knows he has a soul, and he knows he's a super soul. That is kshetragnya. Means he knows that he has the kshetra, that is the body. Body is the kshetra, and he has a soul inside the body, and he has a super soul inside the body. That is kshetragnya. And what is jnanam? Jnanam is understanding about kshetra and kshetragnya. So knowledge of how I have this body, what body I have, and what is my soul, what is my super soul,
What is my body made up of?
what is
All
my
those
body
things are
made up
knowledge.
of, how is my body made of all these things. That is knowledge. And what is gneyam? The goal, that is Paramatma. Paramatma, how to know Paramatma, that is gneyam.
Yes, this our soul, the nature of our soul is to serve the Lord or Paramatma. That is called as Gneyam. Yes.
So, for example, over here, I was just trying to put an example so that all of us can understand. We have a house. So we have compared, instead of a kshetra, Krishna told that it's a kshetra. So I've just compared it to a house. Let's say we have a house. Whose is this house? This is Krishna's house. That is, who is inside us? That is Krishna's house. And imagine this man is the one on the left with the blue shirt is that is the Krishna. And on the right, someone is taking the key. That is that someone who's taking the key wants to enjoy this particular house. So he becomes the Purusha, and the one in the blue shirt becomes the Param Purusha. So Kshetra is this house. So he's going to live in this house. And what is that? That's my body. So I'm going to be renting this house, and I'm going to be living in this house. So who is the owner of the house? Krishna gave me this house to enjoy. And Krishna provided me with the mother nature where I can have nice fresh air coming into the house, all those things. So that is the Prakriti. And who has given me to enjoy? Krishna has given me this particular house to enjoy. So we are all renting this house. We didn't have this body for on our own. This is our soul which said, I want to enjoy Krishna, please help me. And Krishna told, okay, no problem, I will give you everything, you just stay in a house and enjoy the house. So that is our body.
Okay. I think Shriya and Aditya has a question.
Mataji, my question is the supernova or Krishna and super soul, are both of them same thing?
Supernova and the super soul are both the same thing? Yes, you're
they're
correct.
both same thing.
You're correct.
Yes. And yeah.
Prabhuji, even I have a doubt.
Mhm.
What is Kshetra Jnana? Not Jnana.
Kshetragya. Kshetragya is the person who knows about the own body is called as Kshetragya.
Yes. So, for example, over here, Krishna has given the body, that is this house, to this tenant who is going to live in this house. And after some time, we dwindle, we die, and then we go into another new house, right? Like that, we are just given this temporary body, which is given by Krishna. I didn't get this. I didn't make this. I cannot make this house of a body. It's given by Krishna. But why is Krishna called as a supernova then? Why am I calling? Why I can't call myself a supernova? Why am I not the Purusha? I'm only a Purusha, but Krishna is the Param Purusha. Why is that? I'm only a little Purusha, and he is actually the Param Purusha. Why is that? Because Krishna knows this particular house, and he knows every single house in that area. So he knows what is happening in my body. He's sitting in my body, he's watching, and he's sitting in every one of our body right now, and he's watching what we are doing.
He's watching as?
He's sitting inside every one of our body and watching us. In what form?
Yes, Ayush.
Paramatma.
Very good.
Yes. How does Paramatma look like?
The Paramatma is the four-handed form of Krishna.
Perfect.
Very good.
Perfect. So,
and the Paramatma is also in the Vaikuntha.
Yes,
very good.
Very good. So this is how this is how we need to understand that this is given to me by Krishna. And who is Kshetragnya? Gnya means who is in knowledge. Kshetragnya is I know I have this house, so that is my body, and I know I have a soul inside this house, and I know the super soul, that is the Krishna himself, supernova. That's it. It's not very difficult. I hope it's all clear, right? Yes, can I get a thumbs up, everybody?
Perfect.
Yes, perfect.
Perfect.
Okay, so here in the third shloka, we hear that, yes, okay, I'll just go ahead with this. O sign of Bharata, you should understand, and Krishna is saying this, that, O sign of Bharata, you should understand that I'm also the knower in all the bodies. And to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge. So what is it here he's stressing over here? To understand the body and its knower. Who is the knower? Krishna. And also the
Soul of the
soul of the
respective
body, soul of the body. To understand that I'm this body and I am also this soul is called knowledge. Is called knowledge. This is my opinion. So Krishna is saying that knowledge is knowledge of having the understanding that I am not this body, I am this soul, and also Krishna is inside me. This is the knowledge. So if you see in the picture, we have a body which is getting abused by smoke, and inside that we have the soul and also super soul. And also we have another person who is dreaming about something about cheating, and then some women, and then children, some relationships, something like that. So also another person who's sleeping, he also has Paramatma and Atma inside him. So now this becomes the person who's lying down over here. He knows, if he is in knowledge, he would know that he is this body, and also he has a knower in the body who is the soul, and also there is a super knower in the body who is the super soul. That is knowledge. Krishna is saying that's what I feel, that's knowledge. And what is this body made out of? We want to know, how is this body made? What does it have? How did they make this body? So the five great elements, false ego, intelligence, unmanifested 10 senses, the mind, the five sense objects, desire, hatred, happiness, distress, aggregate of life symptoms, and convictions, all these are considered in summary to be field of activities and its interactions. So here, what do we have? We have
Please focus. This is a very interesting topic. You might think that what is this? So many things are there on the slide, but don't worry. Mataji is going to show you some picture as well. It's a very interesting topic. You
Yes.
want to know about your body, so find out how your body is made up of.
Yes, we should try to have this knowledge. We should try to grab this knowledge because it's about me and my body, and also how my body functions.
And out of these 24 elements, you already know 8 elements.
Yes, we have all learned the first 5 elements. We have learned that how this body is made of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Remember, we heard Bhumi Rapo Nalo Vayuhu. We learned about this. So it's earth, water, fire, air, and ether. It has 5 gross elements. What are gross elements? Can one of you, if you can, if you know what is gross elements, can you please raise your hand?
Yes, Arav.
5 gross elements are earth, which is the material earth mostly, water, fire, air, and ether.
Perfect.
Yes, it's just like the 5 sense or the 5 body elements, like smell, sound. Okay, like here.
No, only that much.
My
only
question
that
is,
much.
why is it called as gross?
Why is it called as gross? Okay, Darshan.
It is called gross because it is material elements.
Yes, so they're material. We can touch and feel them. Anything that is material, you can touch. Oh, I have earth. See, the cheek is made out of earthly elements. And I have my body also has water. We drink water, right? The body goes into the water, it stays there. So I have water in my body, and also my body is not cold, it's hot. So of course there is fire inside my body. And also if you notice in our bones and everywhere, we jump and we are buoyant. Why? Because we are having air inside our body, and also there is space where we are able to pass our voice outside. So this way our body has earth, water, fire, ether, and air. And what is knowledge acquiring senses? Now I acquire knowledge with various of the parts in my body. So how do I do that? I look and gain knowledge, and I smell. Okay, this actually smells good. This doesn't smell good, and nice fragrance. So this is how I'm trying to gain knowledge. And also ears, we hear Krishna Katha. That's how we acquire knowledge. And also we have our skin. We touch Krishna's form through deities. That's our skin. And also our tongue. We speak, we eat. So when we eat, we're like, this prashadam is tasty. This prashadam is um, sweet. This prashadam is bitter, and it's very nice. So this is how we acquire knowledge. So we acquire knowledge, and this is how we are able to provide or offer services to Krishna. So this is how we understood today also, that we all had heard about it. Let us all unmute and chant once. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare.
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Yes, we also have our working senses. So we learned how we have 5 gross elements, and we have knowledge acquiring and senses, which are also 5. And now we have our working senses, which is our voice. We offer our services by talking. Voice, legs, hands, anus, genitals. These are working senses. And also we have objects of senses, which is form. We see Krishna's form. We are able to smell Krishna's, the flowers that we offer to Krishna. And also we hear, that is sound, and touch and taste. So these are directly the object of senses. How are they related? They are related to the knowledge acquiring senses, which is eyes, nose, ears, skin, and tongue. Through these knowledge acquiring senses, we are able to see these objects, which is form, smell, sound, touch, and taste.
Object means goal. You utilize your nose to smell. That's what Mataji is saying. You utilize your eyes to see the form of the Lord. Okay? So you almost know so many elements right now.
Yes, so it's like 24 elements, and it's not very difficult. And this is jnanam. So we have the subtle elements. Now we learned that we have 5 gross ones, and also knowledge acquiring senses and working senses and objects. And we have subtle elements. Subtle is something that you cannot touch and feel. So this is the one that can touch and feel, we all learned, but the one that cannot be touched and felt is the mind. Can you touch? Where is your mind? Are you able to touch with your hand? Where is your mind? No, we cannot. So it's subtle. And also we have intelligence. We know intelligence is somewhere in that region, but we don't know where exactly it is. So that's intelligence. And false ego. So we do feel jealous about other things. So that's false ego that's inside us. And also unmanifested. What is unmanifested? This is a question that we think of. Unmanifested means when I have all these elements, and if I'm not awakened. Remember, we saw when the annihilation happens, all of us go inside Krishna and we stay there. That's unmanifested. Manifested means when we are not inside Krishna, when everything starts creating, that becomes manifested. Manifested means there is some change. Unmanifested means it's actually okay, now all this gross elements, everything is finished its job, it's going back to Krishna. That is unmanifested, and it's not doing anything. For example, it's not an action. Something that's not in action is unmanifested. So if my body is working now, it means that it's manifested. But when it's not working and it's just lying inside Krishna, only my soul is lying inside Krishna, then it becomes unmanifested. So I'm just giving a pictorial form to what we just read. So our body is made of earth element, water element, fire element, air element, and also ether, which is space. And also we have knowledge acquiring senses. We have our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and touch. And also we have working senses, which is our voice, legs, hands, evacuating organs, and also reproductive organs. Next, we have our mind, intelligence, false ego, and pradhana, which is the unmanifested we read. And also we have object of senses, but which is form. We know this is like a rounded form, and also sound and smell, taste, touch. Next, what is spirit soul? So we have our soul and the super soul, and also results of interactions of the 24 elements. So when we are having all these elements in our body, automatically they are coming from material nature. So material nature will start behaving differently when it's on our soul as per our desire. So we desire one thing, but material nature, according to our modes, she will put pleasure on us. She will say, okay, now you're in pain. Okay, now you have desire. Now you have hatred. So this is how there are other objects of interactions with the material nature, which is three modes, that is Maya. Now, Arjuna again pondered, how do I understand this knowledge? How do I cultivate this knowledge? He's asking. Arjuna is asking, how do I understand this Krishna and how to cultivate this knowledge?
Let's see how he wants to make use of this knowledge.
Yes, let's see how we can make use of this knowledge, because we're also learning Bhakti Yoga, but we're learning Jnana Yoga for the sake of Bhakti Yoga. So, how can we understand Bhagavad Gita? Remember, we started the session by we can understand Bhagavad Gita by the mood. That is the mood, proper mood. We should think that we are subservient to Krishna and we want to get the mercy of Krishna. Then we can understand. And also, we should have complete surrender. We have to completely think, Krishna, you're the supreme. I know you're the supreme, and I'm trying to develop this knowledge that I know you're the supreme, and I'm trying to develop this knowledge, and I'm trying to submit myself to you so that I can gain this knowledge. That's when it'll become easier. And 100% faith that Krishna will definitely help us. Remember we learned yesterday how Krishna reciprocates like that.
Just like all you people with proper mood, you're every day joining in to learn about Krishna and Bhagavad Gita. You have surrendered with full faith. Very good.
Yes. And also we can understand Krishna, how we can understand Bhagavad Gita by personal character and behavior. So this is something new that we heard. We need to have good qualities in us. We need to build our qualities. We need to be very strong in our understanding about personal behavior. We should not be cheating others. This is all not good qualities. And even Krishna doesn't like these qualities. If we want to be very good, if we are very good, only then Krishna helps us. If we are not very good, how can he become okay? This person is doing so many bad things. He is not trying to understand what is knowledge, right? That's not even good. Will your parents like it? That you're cheating others, you're being bad with others. Our parents will not like it. Yes. So now let's see the divine qualities. So what are the divine qualities Krishna is asking? Just before we go to the next slide, what do you see in this picture?
Okay, let's see. Ayush Patil.
Wait, I didn't hear the question.
The question is, what do you see in this picture?
Oh, I see two birds. I see two birds. And I see the pictures below are not that clear, but I can see the picture on the right. Krishna is the one in all of these pictures.
Right. So in the bird picture, what are two birds doing? There's one bird doing something. The one with the flying. I mean, she's flapping her wings.
So I think she's trying to get airborne.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's ask Shauri has raised a question. Okay.
This means that the bird that's eating the fruits is known as the one who the fruits are pleasures, unhappiness, sorrows, and all different kinds of expressions. And the bird that's eating is us, and the birds that just sitting and seeing the another bird is called the Paramatma, and down I can see a man who is trying to do something to a woman, and beside that I can see Krishna.
Yes, so perfect. So here we have the bird that is eating fruits is trying to enjoy the body. So that's the soul which is having desires that I want to enjoy this body, and it's trying to eat the fruits. And when it's eating its fruits, it has some good fruits and bad fruits. Why? Because material nature will give you fruits, and the material nature will give you fruits which could be good and which could be bad, and you have to enjoy whatever she gives because that's what you desired, that I want to enjoy this body. I don't have a body like Krishna, let me also enjoy like Krishna. So we got this body which I think that I'm enjoying, but actually I'm eating these fruits and getting into entanglement. And what is this other bird doing? This other bird is waiting. Look over here, we see the down picture that we see is actually a representative of this bird. This bird is forever watching. Maybe this soul will try to turn towards Krishna. He will one day turn towards me and take help from me. If he's once at all looking at me and taking help from me, immediately I will help him. So he's always watching us like the second bird, and he's thinking that this person who is enjoying, he's not realizing that he's getting into problems. Sad, but let us see how long he will do this. At least one day he will turn towards me. So, like that, we also, instead of thinking, I want to get into, I can nicely enjoy video games. Let me go ahead and play some video games. That's like enjoying our mind and body. But rather, you should think, what else can I make for Krishna? How else can I make Krishna happy? That's when we turn towards Krishna, and that's the best consciousness.
Yeah, so people are asking questions here. What is super soul? It's very simple. We are soul, right? If we are called as soul, who is the supreme soul? Lord Krishna is the supreme soul. If we are called as man, who is the supreme man or the superman? It's not the cartoon Superman, but he's the supreme man. That's how he's called as,
Yes.
right? That's how we need to understand. So how is super soul made up of? How is God made up of? God also has a form. How is he made up of? We don't know that. God has a form. That's what we are trying to understand. What is his form? Okay.
All right. So here, we read in our last one that let's see what are the divine qualities of items. So we need to develop the divine qualities and purify ourselves if we want to understand Krishna. Otherwise, we will just be enjoying this material nature. So how do we do that? Our consciousness should be elevated. How? What do you see in the picture over here? There are two boys. What are they doing?
What are they doing, Om?
A boy became if they are playing two boys, then a boy became robber and came to stab him. Or if this is real picture, then a man is a man got a cigarette to kill this man.
Is a cigarette?
No, it's a knife. Sorry, he
knife.
mentioned it's knife.
Knife, yes.
Yeah.
So he has this knife. This particular boy has a knife in his hand. So a sergeant also has a knife in his hand. So what happens is this particular robber is using the knife very inappropriately. But the same knife is helpful also. When a sergeant is using the knife, he is using to operate on people to save him. But here, this man is using the knife in a very different way by killing him. So this is inappropriate, and here it is appropriate. The same knife becomes, the same knife which is inappropriate becomes a proper way of understanding. So that is our consciousness. Understanding why I have this knife and how I should utilize this knife. That is a proper understanding. For example, we have our laptops. We are having these laptops. When I go out, I'm using some mundane games I'm playing. That is not proper utilization. All of you are so nicely listening to Bhagavad Gita. That is proper utilization. And that understanding is the consciousness. So I know I'm listening to Bhagavad Gita. It's transcendental. It's not coming from the material world. It's coming from the spiritual world. And that's why it's very auspicious for me to listen to Bhagavad Gita. That becomes better consciousness. You're listening with consciousness, not with, oh, there is some class going on. Some Mataji is just talking something. It's not making any sense, but let me just listen. That is not proper consciousness. That's inappropriate consciousness. So we'll see how we commit sins. As in, how is it that, remember the bird over here, it's eating away all the bad and good fruits. Why do we get this kind of tendencies? We'll see. So for example, we think in our mind, let me steal a bank, I'll get lots of money. And that's called a sinful tendency. We have not committed the sin, but we still have that in our heart. You know what, that particular chocolate is very very yum, I should eat that. That's called, that's still, you have a tendency but you have not committed it.
Or a desire. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still under a very sinful tendency but not committing.
Yeah.
Next, you have a desire. So here you think, okay, I it's this tendency is hidden somewhere in your heart. It's not yet taken its form. It's not yet taken its form. When it's taking its form, it'll start making plans. That's the desire. It's having that sinful desire, which was a tendency which was sitting in your heart already. And then it will say, oh, I have this particular desire, a tendency, and now that I have got a chance, let me rob the bank. That is the desire, which is in an inappropriate way. Then one day when you steal the bank because of this desire, Krishna approves it. As soon as you have this desire that I want to steal the bank, Krishna approves it and the material nature performs it. And what happens next? Unmanifested action. Here you're in the court, you're hearing that what would be your punishment, and finally you are in the manifested reaction of being jailed. So this is how you're eating the fruits. One man thinks that I want to eat the fruit, it's still a tendency, I want to enjoy this body. And then he will think, I have this desire to enjoy this body. So he thinks, now that I have a fruit in front of me, let me eat this fruit. And then you commit, there is a reaction because of eating that fruit. That becomes like, okay, now I have eaten the food nicely. And you get into trouble of being in the manifested reaction of being in this jail of the material world. Okay, so we need to uplift our consciousness. If I eat fruits, I will be sinful. But if I offer it to Krishna, I'm eating food, I will be committing sins every single day. Again, I will be I will be committing more and more sins. Our sins have turned into Mount Meru, such a big mountain of sins we have. But still, we don't realize, and we're like, it's okay, I will commit sins, no problem. Means it'll never get destroyed. We are always bound to be in this material world of jail over here.
So as little children, all you people, what you have to do, you should not commit any mistakes. Wake up in the morning. If you're not able to wake up very early in the morning, wake up at least 6 in the morning. Right now you're supposed to study, just study, focus on your studies, that's it. Listen to your parents, right? Make right choices, do not lie, start chanting. These are the things which you have to do. But if you get into a sinful mode, then you know what will happen. That sinful tendency will turn into a desire. You will end up doing sins. You will start cheating. You will start lying. And then finally, you will suffer one day.
Yes. So Krishna has defined these are the tendencies which are sitting in our hearts, impurities already sitting in our hearts. He's telling how I need to practice. Now, what exactly is good things that I need to do? We should know, right? We should just say, oh, these are the bad things that I have. Now, how do I correct it to good things? What are the good things that I need to do? So, can one of you read this list that is mentioned in front of you? Yes.
Yes, Ayush Bhandari. Yes.
Okay. Number one,
You are reading one.
humility.
Sorry, hold on, Ayush. Sorry about that. So, if you're reading one, you'll have to give me the meaning also. What do you understand by that word?
Humility.
Okay. So first, humility. I think that leads to the tendency because the humility is like humiliation, which means you think it's a bad and you get the bad. and then that can turn, that's a negative reaction, and that can lead to the sinful tendencies being created, and then they can turn into desires, because the humility I don't think is a good feeling.
Sorry about that. I think you have to search the meaning. Humility is,
What about being humble? Humble is a good feeling, right? Yes.
yes, humble and humility is almost the same. Being humble means you know that you're very tiny, and Krishna is so, he's the supreme person, you know that. So apart from that, we all should know that we are all servitors of Krishna, so we should have humility towards everything, and we should not be proud about ourselves. We should not be proud ourselves that, oh, you know what, I know everything. That's being proud. You should always think Krishna and all his devotees are so not pride, they are not having any pride at all. Only then you can enter Krishna's planet, because the moment we think we are great, we fall down into the material world. And we should be non-violent. Now non-violence not only means that you should not kill other animals. See, killing other animals is bad, and also eating non-veg is bad, because you are directly killing animals. Why is eating non-veg is so condemned? Why? Because you are not understanding that you are this soul, you're not this body. What are you eating? You're eating another body, and you're making your own stomach as like a graveyard. We don't want to do that. We don't want to have a graveyard in our stomach. We need to have clear thoughts. So we don't want to commit sins towards other living entities. And also, non-violence not only means not committing sins towards other animals, also within human beings also, we should be, when we are talking, when we are dealing with other people, we should have good dealings. We should not make others get angry. Others get angry, or violence is not good. Tolerating, remember we learned winter summer is something that was always coming and going. We should tolerate others also. We should be humble with others, and also we should have simple things. We should not complicate our lives. Oh, you know what, I like these things, so don't complicate yourselves. And something very important, accepting a spiritual master. So you need to have a guru in your life. Only a guru can give us this knowledge. So like Srila Prabhupada is extremely merciful, that the moment you think of him and you say that I want to submit myself to you, he's very humble. He will give you knowledge that's required, and we need to submit ourselves to the guru. Cleanliness, taking bath in early in the morning, cleaning ourselves properly, cleaning our belly, and we should take a shower in the morning and also in the evening, keeping ourselves clean inside and out. Inside, how do I clean myself? Having clean thoughts by chanting. Let us all chant once. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama.
Krishna.
So apart from cleaning ourselves, we should have steadiness. Steadiness is once I will say something and then another time I will say something else. I have some mood swings. It should not be like that. You should have whenever you're answering something, doing something, you should have full consciousness, self-control, control our senses properly. I should not think, okay, I should not eat. I can eat non-prasadam once in a while. No, that's not good consciousness. Renunciation of sense objects, absence of false ego. So we should lose our ego. How we can lose our ego? We should think that if I'm jealous of others, that's not good. Other devotees are also serving Krishna, that's in the mode of goodness. And perception of evil of birth, death, and disease. And also detachment. I should detach myself from bad things. No entanglement with wife or children. This doesn't apply. So even mindedness, we
So
should
like
not
this,
be.
there are 20 items are there. We will share
Yes.
this particular slide one by one. You people can go through. And if you have any questions, we can see that in the next classes as well. These we can explain in detail as well.
Yeah, so we learned about Ananya Bhakti. By the way, all of these things we have already learned in our previous classes. We are just trying to compile it. All these things that in 13th chapter we are learning, we've already learned it, but we are compiling all the knowledge items. That's all. So what is unalloyed bhakti? We saw yesterday Ananya bhakti that one performs, aspiring to live in a solitary place, aspiring to live in, okay, I want to do devotional service. If somebody is disturbed me, I don't want to go to that place. I want to, isolate sit in one place and do devotional service. That is in the goal of goodness. And detachment of general masses. Like, some people, they try to poison our minds saying, oh, you know what, devotional service is not so great. You should not mingle with such people. We should always be with very, very good people who are doing devotional service and accepting importance of self-realization. I should know that I'm this soul and not this body. And philosophical search about the absolute truth. See how many of you are trying to understand Krishna now. All of you are learning about Krishna and want to be with Krishna. This is called as learning about Krishna, of the absolute truth. So what is happening over here in this picture? Can one of you, try to understand what is happening over here?
Yes, Arman.
So it's saying Jiva in this material world. So what I see is that there's a tree that's being that an elephant is trying to break with its trunk. There's a kid who's hanging on a branch, and there's like a bee nest on top, and then there's and the bees are trying to attack him, and the elephant, and he's hanging to the branch or the tree which the elephant is trying to break, and God is trying to help him, holding out a hand to help him.
Yes, perfect.
Thank you so much, Arman.
Yes. So in this entire thing, sorry, it's not very clear. Also, one more thing that's happening is we are on a twig or a branch which might almost break, and if this branch breaks, I might get into a very poisonous, I will be I will just be getting bitten very badly by all these poisonous snakes. And on one side the elephant is trying to break the tree, and on the other side there are two rats and they are eating away the branch. So there is a very good possibility that I will fall into this poisonous trap. And on one side I'm thinking that I'm enjoying this honey. It's actually dropped from this honeybee beehive. There is a honey that's getting dropped, and if you see, this man has a tongue open over here. So he's thinking, and also there are bees which are biting him, and on the other side, so all the bees are biting his body away. And on one side the rats, and on one side the elephant, and on one side the poisonous snakes, and Krishna is giving his hand to help us on one side. So, but what we are thinking, I am enjoying this honey which is coming from this material nature. So this is our position. We are having so many troubles around us, and we are not seeing Krishna's hand, but rather we are seeing this honey and thinking, oh, it's so sweet, I'm enjoying this. Why should we do this? We should actually take Krishna's hand, help, and get out rather than dying in the material world thinking I'm enjoying. Rather, we are not enjoying, we are actually suffering. And so the real problems of life, people think that they are into problems. Let's see what exactly is the real problems. Many people, you might have heard, oh, I'm in such a big trouble, I'm in such a big problem, I'm actually having so much stress. So all of this we hear. So what exactly is the real problem? One of you chant?
Yes, Shari, please go ahead and read.
Actually, Prabhuji, I don't know the sloka. Can I read the translation?
Yes.
Yes.
Birth, death, old age, and disease. Temporary problems, food, shelter, and clothing. Krishna is already supplying everything.
Correct. So here it's saying that this comes in 13th chapter 8th shloka onwards. It's Indriyartheshu vairagyam ahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam. So we are all thinking that, all this kind of sufferings that we have, oh, you know what, I have so much homework. I have to go to school. It takes 1 hour for me to go to school. We are having little problems, and we are thinking these are our problems, and we are like, okay, I don't have food to eat, I don't have a place to stay. So many people in the world don't have place to stay, and they don't have clothes. So many people in the world, there are so many social organizations that are collating themselves to get all of this food, shelter, clothing, and they're thinking they're doing social service. But if you see, the real problems of life is not food, shelter, and clothing. It's actually birth, death, old age, and disease. So why do we have this? Birth, death, when you are born, there is death.
There is old age, there is disease. Why should we be born? Our soul is eternal. We don't have to have birth, death. We need to have only eternality. And if we are taking shelter of Krishna, automatically we go back to Krishna's world. This is how Krishna is already supplying. Krishna, have you seen any bird crying, I don't have food? It doesn't cry. It just goes, whatever rice grains are on the road or wherever it is it's finding, it searches for it and it just eats. Have you seen any animal searching for food which is and it's going hungry? Sometimes it gets food, sometimes it doesn't. So it eats and it's enjoying. So actually the problem in the world is not the regular, the basic supply of food, shelter, and clothing. The problem in this world is we are taking birth and dying, taking birth and dying so many times and eating the fruits and suffering the fruits. So whenever I'm eating fruits, I have to suffer. And that's why in my next life, I may not have food because I might not have done any charity. So in this life, I will not have any food because I have not done charity. Next, there are certain things there are certain differences between a soul and a super soul. So here, one of you can read about soul and super soul. Can you can we represent one person who can read all about the soul and super soul? So we'll represent two people. Maybe we can do it like a drama. Can we have two representatives?
Yes, Ayush, and who is the other one? Right.
Can I be the super soul?
You want to be the super soul? Okay, you can be the super soul, and then we have Darshan, who is the soul. Yes, soul. You
So,
read.
yeah.
Yes, soul. Who's the soul? Darshan is the soul. Okay. So when I say soul, you're going to read the first line, and then Ayush will also read the first line. So
Usually soul says.
yeah, soul is saying. What is soul saying? The first line.
Living entities are known as Jivatma.
Okay. Super soul.
God is maintainer known as Paramatma.
Yeah, so living entities are Jivatma and God is the maintainer who's called as Paramatma. Yes, soul.
Individual knower of own body.
Supernover of everyone and everything.
Excellent. Okay, soul.
Soul is secondary proprietor for one body.
What is proprietor?
Proprietor is, I'd say, leader.
It's a leader, the owner of the own body. Okay, yes, super soul.
The super soul is the supreme proprietor of all the bodies.
What does it mean?
He is the supreme owner. He's the supreme leader. He's the supreme commander.
He's a commander for all the living entities, whether it's movable or immovable, everything. Excellent. Yes, soul. Next point.
Secondary controller of senses.
Yes.
Supreme Lord is supreme controller of all senses.
You know why is he called the supreme controller of all senses? What is he called as? We learned that in the first chapter.
He is known as the Rishikesha.
Excellent, Ayush. Excellent memory. Okay, soul. Go ahead with the next point.
Sat, Chit, and Anand.
What is Sat, Chit?
He is also.
It's there in the bracket. Sat means always eternal. The Jiva was always eternal.
It means knowledge and Anand means bliss.
Very good. Yes, super soul.
The super soul is also the Satchit and Ananda.
Very good.
He is eternal, he is knowledge, and he is.
Thank you. Okay, let's read the next line. Yes, soul.
Controlled by material nature.
Controlled by material nature.
He is the controller of Maya and material nature.
Okay, how is he controlled? Soul, can you tell me what are the three modes of material nature?
Ignorance, compassion, and
No, ignorance is correct. Let's ask the super soul, who's Paramatma. Yes, Paramatma. How are you controlling the material mode of? What are the modes?
So the three material natures are the pleasure and indecision.
No. Darshan already gave one answer, which is ignorance. What about the other two?
There are bliss and pleasure.
No, I think Om is jumping. Yes, Om, you're jumping to answer. Yes, please.
Yes, goodness, profession, and ignorance.
Goodness, passion. Goodness,
Passion.
passion, and ignorance. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to mute you, Om. Okay, so we have 2 more points left. Yes, soul. Read the next point.
Innumerable living entities.
What does it mean?
It means there is not countable amount of living entities.
Yes, not there are millions and millions of living entities. Yes, Paramatma, go ahead, read.
Although he resides in everyone, he's only one.
Yes, he resides as a Paramatma in everyone, but he's the only one. Yes, soul, read the last one.
Small anu, 1 out of 10,000 tip of hair. Subordinate.
He's a subordinate. His size is also mentioned and he's called as Anu. Yes, Paramatma, you read.
The super soul is infinite, or Vibhu. He's the supreme master.
Yes, thank you so much, soul and super soul. You both became soul and Paramatma for some time. Thank you so much. Okay.
Yeah, the only thing is we had two souls talking.
Yes.
Yes. So what is the benefit or goal of knowledge? It will become blissful by knowing this, by knowing that I have a soul and I have a super soul and also I have this body. These three, knowing about this is knowledge, and that's the goal of knowledge. And by knowing that I have a body, I have a soul, I have a super soul, and I'm in knowledge that I have all these three things makes me feel blissful, because if I'm in this body, I will only enjoy the honey that was dropping off. But if I know that Krishna is also in my body who is directing me, and if you take the directions, we become very blissful. And what is the purpose of this material nature? Why there is a creation, and why did God create this material nature? Do you think you should think about that? Why should we have this material nature? Yes.
Does anyone has an answer? Okay, Dhruv has an answer. Okay, Dhruv, you want to answer?
It is because we did bad and good karmas. It is because it is a punishment for us.
It's a punishment for us. That's why Lord created it. But when he created it, he gave all the benefits. Let's see that. Thank you so much, Dhruv.
So we have this Purusha, Prakriti, and their union. So we have this Purusha. Remember, do you see in this picture? We've seen this picture many times. We are going to read more about these modes tomorrow. That chapter is dedicated for these modes tomorrow. So we have these people. They are the souls, and these souls are controlled by these three ladies who are directing with do you see the faces in the glary effulgence kind of a faces? Those are the goodness, passion, and ignorance. So whenever we are trying to act in our body, these three ladies, they'll try to play with us. They are the material nature. They play with us by putting us into goodness, passion, and ignorance, and they will give us decisions in their own ways. They'll say, okay, you know what, you can take this decision as per their own wishes. So like that, material nature and the living entity should be understood to be beginningless. So we saw that Krishna has made this material nature, and also he didn't make the living entities. Living entities are already there. So these two things should be understood to be beginningless. So there is no beginning to this material nature, and there's no beginning to the living entities. They're eternally there, and their transformation and the modes of matter are products of the nature. The jiva in the material world, what does it do? Both material nature and jiva are eternal. So material nature is also eternal. Around us, what we have, air, water, ether, fire, all this is eternally there. Lord is the supreme Purusha, but jiva is trying to lord it over this position on the material world. So Krishna is actually the actual enjoyer, but we are thinking we are enjoying, and we are enjoying this material world. Remember the plant, the tree, the twig, we are thinking that we are enjoying, but we are not. But we should think that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, and we should help him, Rishikesha or Govinda. We should give him the he being the Rishikesha, we should give him pleasure, and we'll get the pleasure automatically. We will feel happy automatically. Nothing happens by chance. Everything has a cause and effect, both handled by material nature. For example, we have COVID around us. Oh, you know what? Somebody did some experiment in some place and that's how it spurted out. It's all not right. Actually, God has a plan for everything. And why did COVID come? Also may have a plan. We don't know about the real plan. See, if there was no COVID, I couldn't have interacted to all you people from different parts of the world. You're all listening to transcendental knowledge. So that God has a different plan. We may have a plan. God has a, God knows what is the best plan. If we are thinking, I have a plan, I want my plan to be successful, then sure he will approve your plan. But do you have the capacity to take care of your plans? We don't have the capacity. We are tiny purushas. We don't know what's happening tomorrow. I will think, you know what, tomorrow I'll go in the next entire year, I will go nicely, have a nice vacation, the entire globe. The COVID arrived. Now nobody can go anywhere. So, like that, Krishna knows what is the best, and he will, if we take his lotus feet, he will direct where exactly and what exactly we should do. Do we really have freedom? And are we really enjoying this body? That's a question. Okay, then in that case, influence of material nature. Here we think that I have 100% control on my body. But look at these two boys, they are struggling. They don't have control on their body. It's actually material nature, that is Maya, who has control on our body. Purusha prakritisto hi bhunte prakritijan gunan karanam guna sangosya sadasadyo nijanmashu. So the living entity in the material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with the material nature. Thus he meets with good and evil in the amongst the various species. So we are actually going through various lifetimes in various species. So while we are in various bodies, I'm thinking I'm actually eating a lot of food and enjoying by sleeping for a lot of time. And that's what bear thinks. And another body thinks, okay, you know what, I'm actually enjoying by flying in the entire universe. But it doesn't even know where exactly is food. Same way, this is due to his association with the material nature. He meets good and evil. So whenever I think I'm doing something, Maya Devi will put you into something else. But how do I overcome my Maya Devi? That we have to think. So the Jiva is the material in the material world is dependent. So I don't have anything that I can do. I'm dependent on God for everything for approval, and I'm dependent on Maya Devi for performing any task. I cannot move my hand. Maya Devi is the one who's moving my hand. I only desire, I want to pick my hand up. That's all. Nothing else. Krishna is the one who's approving to pick the hand, and Maya Devi is trying to pick the hand for us. That's it. Living entity is the cause of material suffering and enjoying. We might think, oh, you know what? Krishna is approving, material nature is performing. I don't think I'm making any kind of problems over here. But we are the one who's desiring. So living entity is the cause of material suffering and enjoyment. He's eating fruits and he's blaming Krishna. How is that possible? Not possible. I'm eating fruits. If I don't eat fruits and I say I will give away fruits to Krishna, and then I will once my sins are removed, then I will take the fruits, then it's different. We don't want to clean our food. Whatever we consume, I'm wearing this dress, I don't know if all of you do it. My parents used to do it when we were small. Whenever we buy some new clothes or anything that we used to buy, we used to first offer it to Krishna. He has to wear it first, and then we used to take it for ourselves. So like that, we have to first think of Krishna. Living entity is the cause of material suffering. I am the reason for my suffering. I should take ownership for my sufferings. Function of the super soul. Then what is super soul doing?
Yeah, we already read this, if you
Yeah,
remember.
we've already finished this part. There is no, I mean, I don't want to interact now because I want to close. There is a nice story coming up. So let's listen to the story. But before the story comes, I'll just finish this slide. This I've already asked the question. उपदृष्टानुमन्ता च भर्ता भोक्ता महेश्वरः परमात्मेति चाप्युक्तो देहेऽस्मिन् पुरुषः परः. So upadrishtanumanta cha means I am watching. Upadrishta. Drishta means I am watching. There is a person that is yet in this body, there is another, a transcendental enjoyer. That is, Krishna is not from this world. He's the controller of Maya. He's the transcendental enjoyer. I'm thinking I'm enjoying. No, Krishna is watching us and he is actually enjoying. Who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, and who exists as an overseer and permitter. He's the one who's seeing what we are doing, and also he is permitting our all our work, and also who is known as the super soul or Paramatma. So Krishna is overseer, permitter, and supreme enjoyer. We also read one more shloka like this. What is that? What is the shloka that should come to your mind when you're saying overseer, permitter, and enjoyer?
The supreme enjoyer we read, remember? We are unmuting. Shruti Prabha.
Yes.
Very good. Excellent.
Who said
Louder.
that?
Louder.
Yes. Say.
Sarvalokam
Suhritam Sarvabhutanam. Very good. That's the what formula? Peace formula. He is the Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Bhoktaram. He is the actual Bhoktaram.
He is the enjoyer.
Very good.
Bhoktaram. Bhoktaram means he is the actual enjoyer. Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He not only knows my body, he knows others' body, he knows material nature, he knows everything, and he's enjoying. Okay, look, this man is thinking he's enjoying, but I'm actually the one who's enjoying. So, like this, we have three doers. Same thing.
We already learned the three doers. I hope you remember.
Yes. So we have this soul. We learned this. I'm just trying to revise.
Yes.
Remember, I
Om,
told
you
you.
remember the
Yeah.
three doers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can explain this.
And I can explain.
Yes.
Yes, faster.
We are the soul. We desire. If we desire something to do, then Krishna sanctions it to Maya Devi, and Maya Devi do that work.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
does Krishna approve every work?
Uh,
Everything that we desire, does he approve?
yes.
No. I will desire I want 1,000,000 dirhams. Will I get it?
No. If it is possible,
What is the
he approves.
possibility?
What is that possible?
Everything is possible for Krishna.
Yes.
He prove our desires only it is good.
Not good. He approves our desires for. I think Arman is
Arman
raising
wants
his
to
hand
answer.
here.
Yes, Arman.
He approves your desires according to your karma.
Yes,
Perfect.
very good
So
answer.
do we really deserve it? If I'm saying, you know what, I'm in such a big trouble, I need some money, I will think about it, and I will ask Krishna to give it to me. Then Krishna will say, does she really deserve to get this money? Oh yeah, she has done good karma sometime in the past, she can get it. I will get it. But I'm taking money and I'll have to be suffering also because I'm taking money. I'm taking this money and I will be binding myself also. But at the same time, if you think I'm giving away this to Krishna and I will want to cleanse my money for making something pious activities like, okay, let us give right now. Oh, yeah, we also have the temple construction coming up. So if I give the money to the temple construction, I'm cleansing my all my money like that. Or maybe I want to eat fruits. I will offer first to Krishna. So that's how we are doing into Krishna karma. So what are we doing over here? The essence of this thing is I modify my desire to cut the chain. I'm modifying my desire that, you know what, certain things are good for me and I will only do certain things that Krishna is telling, and I will change my boss. I'm thinking I'm the boss of this body, but I should think actually Krishna is the super boss. I should listen to him. That's when we are actually in knowledge. So remember, we heard this shloka also. It's over. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi. So actually, the problem in this world is not about those temporary problems that we have about food, shelter. The real problem is Janma mrityu jara vyadhi. I'm going through this body which deteriorates. It gets deteriorating day by day as we grow. It gets deteriorating. One who understands this philosophy concerning material nature, the living entity, and the interaction of modes of nature is sure to attain liberation. He will not take birth here again, regardless of his present position. So, if all of you understand that I'm going through this cycle of birth, death, I don't want to go through this boring game of always, taking birth and dying, thinking that, I'm enjoying. You have already enjoyed this body so many lifetimes, and you're cheating yourself that I'm actually enjoying this body. We're all cheating ourselves. We should think I have already taken birth millions of times and there is no enjoyment. Let me just give pleasure to Krishna, and automatically we will go back out of this material world. So the biggest problem of this material world is
What is the biggest problem in this material world? Shreya? Oh, so many. Sia.
Birth and death,
Yes.
the
What is the biggest
cycle.
problem?
Pardon?
What is the biggest problem in this material world?
Having to have the cycle of birth and death over and over again.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Excellent.
This is the word. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Cycle of birth and death is the biggest problem in this material world. So I have this cycle of birth and death. I have this Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. But how can we make this cycle disappear?
Who
How
will
can
answer this? Okay. Om, you want to answer? How can we
Uh,
make this disappear?
by doing good karma and chanting the Hare Krishna mantra.
Yes.
Excellent.
Okay, this is another thing, understanding that we should know. Good karma, bad karma, both karmas are bad. Why? Because both of them are binding. When I do bad things also, I need to do something to compensate that. When I do good thing also, I need to compensate that. Good or bad karma is not in the mode of goodness. It's not good. The best thing is
Krishna karma.
Krishna karma, which is
Leave it to
transcendental.
Krishna.
And how do we do that? By chanting. Let us all chant for every one of us.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
So we will see now. We saw how we saw how our good and bad karma can disappear by chanting. Now we will see who are those people who have already understood this part and who are the one who are able to see things differently by knowing this knowledge. समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठतं परमेश्वरं विनश्यस्तस्व अविनाश्यन्तं यः पश्यति स पश्यति. So pashyati sa pashyati means the one who sees properly is the one who is in knowledge and he's seeing things. What is he seeing? One who sees the super soul accompanying the individual soul in all bodies and who understands that neither the soul nor the super soul within the destructible body is ever destroyed, is actually seeing.
We have already learned this. If you remember, the
Yeah.
elephant, a person who sees a Paramatma in everyone, he's called a Pandita, Samadarshina. He sees everyone the same. We already learned
Yes.
this.
So somebody who is like all of you now know, we all have body, we all have super soul, and we all have soul. So like that over here, this person who is in knowledge, he's seeing that every body, it doesn't matter if it's an ant, doesn't matter if it's a pig, or it doesn't matter if it's a horse, dog, animals, any birds, fish, crocodile, everything in this world has a soul and a super soul. And also the one who is controlling, you see this big deity over here, the Paramatma is in every living entity, and he's the one who is trying to help all of us. And yes, so the one who knows this is the one who's a seer. Who is a seer? What do you mean by a seer?
Let's ask Suprita and Sugandhini. Who's a seer? S-E-E-R.
See, I don't know. I'll try. See,
Okay, let's ask Arman.
Seer is the super soul.
Yes, Seers is a super
Seer is
soul.
also can be super soul, but actually a
Who's
true
a true
seer.
seer? Who's a true seer?
Okay,
Bhagavan.
let me give you the answer. So true seer is a person who is a rishi, the one who knows that this person, that is, if you see a rishi sitting under the tree over here, he is able to see that there is Paramatma above all of us, and he is able to see that every living entity, the tree, plants, birds, all of these animals have a Paramatma inside him and also Atma inside him. That kind of a person is called as a rishi or the seer. It's S-E-E, not the one who's seeing. The one who's seer is a rishi, is also called as a seer.
So once you people also understand what is your body, how to utilize your body, how to make use of your body, all those things, you people also will be called as a rishi or a true seer.
Yes. So when we are, if you remember, there was a one story that we heard in the past about Jadabharata. Jadabharata was so violent before that he used to hang animals half dead and he used to hang it on the tree.
Jadabharata. This
Sorry,
Mrigari the hunter.
Mrigari, not Jadabharata. Mrigari the hunter used to kill animals and he used to hang them half dead on the tree. And when Narada Muni gave him the knowledge that you should do the devotional service, he gave him this prasad or association with one with just few minutes of association. Narada Muni gave the knowledge that you should do devotional service. When he did devotional service, next time after some time when he came to meet him, he was not even stamping on the ants. He was pushing away the ants so that he doesn't stamp them, because he's seeing that even those animals or small ants have Paramatma inside. Can you believe Paramatma is so big, but he goes inside the ant and he puts himself inside the ant, even to help that little ant, every living entity. He helps every living entity by being inside. So merciful he is. Let's learn about this story. Let's see what exactly we have in the story. We had a Brahmana who was I don't know if you have you heard of the story by any chance? We have a Brahmana and the rat story.
Oh, there are 2 hands raised already. Wow. Okay. No, there are no hands raised.
Okay, it's actually the previous question answered.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I think Rajan. There is Shreya and Aditya also. We have a. No, Rajan is not raised. Shreya and Aditya. Oh, there are so many people who raised. Let's ask from them. Yes, Akhilesh. I think you know the story.
Mataji, I don't know the story.
Okay, that's fine. I think Ritu knows the story.
Yes, Prabhuji. Is it the one where this rat kills the mongoose? Is that story?
No, there is a cow in the story and also children in the story.
No, then I don't know.
Okay, so let's listen. Yeah.
Yeah, all of you listen. It's a very sweet story where this Brahmana wanted to become a very good Brahmana, and so he had taken the path of devotional service from his guru. Now, his guru told him, you know what, you learn all the scriptures nicely so that you can become a good Vaishnava and learn about all the knowledge and what is jnanam, gneyam, all of this, gain knowledge, read about it and become a very good Pandita, he told him. But there was one very naughty rat in his room. And this naughty rat used to go around everywhere. He used to go around everywhere and he used to chew up all the books in the room. And because he used to chew up all the books in the room, he was like, oh no, it's chewing away all the books in the room. Let me do one thing. Instead of getting this rat, instead of you chewing away all my books, let me give you some food. So this Brahmana, in a pious act, Brahmanas actually they want to be very good with everyone, so they're trying to think of the animals also. So because he had such a good thought, he thought, okay, in the mode of goodness, let me just get something to eat for this little poor rat. So he thought, let me get a cow. He got a cow and he used to milk the cow and he used to feed this rat every day so that he doesn't chew up all his food and clothes and everything that was around it. It was biting away. So he got this cow so that he can give it away. But later on, he thought, oh, you know what? If I have this cow, I have to wake up in the morning, I have to milk the cow, and then I have to take care of the cow. I have to graze him up. I have to go out to the fields. I have to graze him and bring him back. I have to tie him back. I have to take care of his, all the cow dung and so many things it has. I need to take care of his health also. And also, I have this rat. I have to feed this rat, and it became too much of a work. Then I thought, let me do one thing. Instead of having this, let me get married. When I get married, automatically I will be able to take care of this cow and also the rat, so I will be able to do my proper devotional service. Can you imagine? He wanted to be a brahmachari, and this brahmachari turned into a grihastha by getting married just to take care of this cow and the rat. And poor brahmachari finally gave up his brahmachari and he finally became a grihastha. And now, at least he thought he will take care of the script by reading scriptures, he will spend his time. But later on, because he was married, he got so many wives. So he now, I'm sorry,
Children.
so many children. So he's a brahmachari. He wanted to be a brahmachari. Now he's married and he has so many children and he's finally taking care of all the children and he's taking care of this cow and rat and so many XYZs. So like this, our life also, what happens is we try to do something on our own thinking that let me try to help some other things around me, other living entities, or let me try to do something on my own. But when we try to do something, that goes into another thing and another thing and another thing. So like this, we had to buy from the rat, the cow came, and from the cow, the wife came, from the wife, children came. So from the children, you get a house, and then later you get a vehicle, you get a car, you get where school. So many problems come in life. So it becomes a vicious cycle of vicious
Never
cycle,
ending,
never
never
ending
ending
vicious cycle.
desires.
Birth, death. I'm enjoying this body. I got another new body. Now I have a new dress. I will enjoy for another lifetime another new dress again. So this is the cycle of vicious cycle of life and death. But rather we want to come out of this cycle and take Krishna's lotus feet and chant. All of you can chant 3 times. We're done with the chapter.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Hare. Thank you all very much for listening to the Jnana Yoga, which is culminating into Bhakti Yoga.